So Vivienne Groom from Cheshire cared for her mother in her final years, and today she was in court to see the government take all the money that her mum left her, using a law which is designed to recoup money from drug dealers and gangsters. Vivienne's been prosecuted because she'd been overpaid carer's allowance, but the Department for Work and Pensions has been criticised by MPs for failing to spot the overpayments and then, in the MPs' words, bullying and harassing those people who'd received them. As Phil McCann reports, Vivienne is far from alone.
Vivienne Groom cared for her mum and ended up in court. The reason? She took a minimum wage job here at her local co-op in Tarvin, near Chester. She should have told the Department for Work and Pensions, the DWP, about it because she was claiming carer's allowance. She didn't because she says a social worker told her she didn't have to. Today in court she was told she'd have to pay £16,000 back.
I followed that lady's rules and, you know, I looked after my mum.
We were paying it back and then the CPS decided to prosecute and they've took everything.
The DWP wanted to seize £16,000 that Vivienne had been left in her inheritance, but could only do so if she was prosecuted. So she was, and with no legal representation, she pleaded guilty to benefit fraud. At the hearing here last year, a different judge reportedly told Mrs. Groom, "You were doing the best you could for your mother. You were making just sufficient money," he said, "to live a normal life." He added that he was truly unimpressed with the way the Department for Work and Pensions had handled the case.
This is inheritance money that her mother left her, so Viv is being penalised now for looking after her mum.
Yeah.
But for years, the Carers Allowance Unit based here in Preston has had the ability to spot most of these overpayments before they accumulate. They're not doing that though, according to this DWP employee who's speaking to us anonymously because he says he wants to blow the whistle.
From 2014 onwards, really they had no excuse for having these overpayments carry on for longer than 2 or 3 months, if they're investigating all of the alerts.
Benefit staff get automatic alerts from HMRC if a carer's allowance claimant is earning too much to claim.
DWP should be protecting these people from getting into trouble with their benefits, but instead they're persecuting them and treating them like hardened criminals, using the Proceeds of Crime Act against them. It's appalling.
That's the law that was used here today to get all of Vivienne's inheritance. It's despite this report by MPs 5 years ago, which accused the DWP of bullying and harassing those who've been overpaid.
Around 44% of people who care for people for over 35 hours a week are living in poverty. So to then receive a large bill for an overpayment that they hadn't been aware of, in lots of cases, that can be devastating for people.
Vivienne told me she originally thought she was the only one this had happened to. In fact, she's part of a long list.
Phil McCann reporting there. He's here, as you can see. Thousands of people are in this position with overpayments, aren't they, of carers allowance, and some of them for pretty big amounts.
Yeah, as we can see, the DWP just last year revealed that for 145,000, well, there were 145,500 overpayments of carers allowance that they were looking to recover. 11,500 of them, over that amount, were for between £5,000 and £20,000. Like with Vivienne, 270 were worth over £20,000. The DWP, as we heard there, have the ability to spot when this happens so that it can stop reaching such huge amounts. Those MPs that criticised this last year, 5 years ago, so the DWP had culpability for the majority of the very large amounts outstanding, and that they should consider writing off amounts where the claimant had made an error given how complex the rules are. Now, we've had a statement, as you'd imagine, from the DWP this afternoon. They say that they're committed to fairness in the welfare system while protecting the public purse. Claimants, they say, have a responsibility to inform them of any changes in their circumstance that could impact on their ability to receive the benefit. They say it's right that we recover taxpayers' money when this has not occurred.